I am back in my leopard shirt. Um, and I am now. If you're paying attention, I've been releasing these frequently because these albums have been coming out frequently. Today, I am talking about Karnivool's In Verses. Now, this is something that has been long time in the making. I've been waiting for a Karnivool record for years and years and years. What did this take? Like 13 years to come out? Something like that. And I gotta say, just like how the Tool record took a long time, I'm kind of glad I wasn't anticipating it on the edge of my seat constantly. I would have been a little disappointed. I'm not saying this album's bad at all. I'm not even saying that this album is not good, because it is good. It's really good. But I feel like it doesn't scratch an itch the way, like, their second album did the first time I listened to it. I I'd have to listen to this like with my attention fully on it. It is really good. I said that already. Is it their best record? I don't think so. What is their second record? Sound Awake, I believe it's called. Yeah, Sound Awake is probably their best. This is definitely a close second. I will say that. And I might grow to like this more, honestly. It's just, I can't tell if it's recency bias for this, if it's familiarity for Sound Awake, because I've listened to that record a lot. A lot. I really like that one. So what about this record? Has me kind of still deciding what I truly think about it. It's a little samey. I don't know. There's a song or two on it that, like, there's no song that I don't like. Every once in a while there's a moment that's a bit of a lull. Like Conversations kind of starts out a little too slow. I don't know if that song needs to be as long as it is, but I feel like Reanimation is really good. I like how it starts, though it kind of feels like Ghost and Drone are like two opening tracks. I feel like this could have been cut down just a smidge. I have no problem with hour-plus long albums. I just gave stellar reviews to an album longer than this. It does, out of all the albums I've heard in the last week that just came out, this feels the longest. Even though it's not the longest, it feels like the longest. So it's the pacing isn't the best. I think every song is great, but it feels more like a collection until we get to the end. All right, there's some hits like Aozora into Animation, great. And then the last 4 tracks, maybe even 5. Reanimation, All It Takes, kind of feels like its own thing. And then Remote Self-Control kind of feels like its own song. And then Opal and Salva to end the album, I think, is a great choice. I think they're worth listening to the album to hear those two back to back. Otherwise, I feel like it feels more like a collection of songs than a proper album. And usually that's fine. And it is fine. But as an album as a whole, that's how I'm looking at it, It's a bit bloated. And it's still worth listening to. And I've seen some people reviewing it, they're teary-eyed by the end of it. And at least in the thumbnail, I assume they're teary-eyed by the end of it. I haven't actually watched those reaction videos or reviews, but I get recommended them, and I see people are like, this is 10 out of 10, this is their best, this is album of the year. And it's a contender for sure. I would nominate this album of the year. This might end up being on my top 10, but I think it would stay near 9 or 10. Unless the rest of this year is mid. And I could be eating my words by the end of the year, you know. I could come out and say, you know what, I changed my mind. I actually have grown fond of this album. And this kind of feels like one of those albums you need to grow fond of. Not that it's an acquired taste. It's just, it's not like immediate I'm in love with it. I have to get acquainted with it to fall in love with it. And that's why I think it's a 7 out of 10. I'd put Sound Awake maybe 8.5, and this is a 7. Maybe a 7.5. I don't know. I'm a little wishy-washy on it because, you know, I enjoy the experience of listening to it, but I feel like each song is better than, not even. I don't know. It's really hard to talk about this album because I really do enjoy it, but there's something stopping me from enjoying it as much as other people seem to. There's something stopping me from enjoying it as much as I have enjoyed their previous records. Even though I like it more than some of their previous records, some of those just scratch an itch better. They have higher moments. So, yeah. I'm going to stick with 7 out of 10 for now. So, what did you think of this album? I know some people think this is going to be album of the year. I'm not entirely sure. I think if you've been watching these videos, this collection of reviews, you might know what album of the year is for me. That might be why I don't like it as much as I did. If this came out like in a month from now or a month ago, and it didn't have competition, I might have enjoyed this a little more. And there's also a chance that by the time I actually got to it, I had two brand new albums I listened to. I got to this one, I might have been like orally exhausted. I'm going to stick to a 7 out of 10 for now. That's subject to change, because I feel like I need to get acquainted with this album to actually appreciate it more than I do. And I appreciate it a lot. So I expect to like this more by the time the year ends. And if I don't, then I don't know. But yeah, what did you think of the album? Have you listened to it? If you haven't, I do recommend it. You know, just not even with an asterisk, I recommend it. I honestly recommend it. This is this really, really, really solid album. I'd even venture to say it's great, but not amazing. You know? It's great, but not amazing. That's my review. You know? And I really hope they continue, because I love the vibe. It's unique. You know? I really hope that they keep making music, because this took forever for them to make, and I was worried that they would never make more music, and I kind of almost gave up on the idea of new Karnivool. So, yeah, that's my review. It's not as great as I thought it would be. That's also a thing. I think I had higher expectations than I should have. It was a little disappointing. It was a little let down. I was expecting it to be their best album, and that's probably why I need to acquaint myself with this album, so that, like, listening to it with these new expectations, maybe I'll like it more. Thinking 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 album, and maybe I'll like it more with that mindset. We'll see. Maybe I'll make a update video. I need content on this channel anyway, so I guess an update video like in a month or two. like, I'm sorry for saying it was a 7 out of 10. It's a 9 out of 10. I love this record. Something like that. I don't know. Anyway, in the meantime, listen to it if you haven't. If you have, listen to it again. I think it's worth re-listens, you know? I think 7 out of 10 is a good number because I think anything 7 and above or 6 and above maybe is albums worth listening to more than once. I don't know. I don't know how my numerical system works. I'm just guessing at this point. It's just the vibe. The vibe is 7 out of 10 for me. So, yeah. Till next time.